Hello everyone, this is Chris with Sticker Fab, and this is kind of a spur of the moment video. I've got all these accessories. I am trying to install a radar detector in this Integra Type S that we have right here. So super hot out here. I might have to turn on the air conditioning even to sit in this vehicle. But let's see if I can get away with just open doors at the moment. What I have is a multimeter, a RJ11 mirror tap that we actually sell on our websites. We've been selling a lot of radar detector accessories. I have my Redline 360C, which you can get from us or anyone else. And then I have the blend mount from my old Audi R8 down here. I'm going to reuse this sucker. One of the things I know about using this particular mount is that I will have to get all the wiring done and tested before I can put this on, because when I have that on, I cannot take off this trim panel. Let's take off this trim panel. I'm gonna have to hold this because I don't have my mount handy. I'm gonna give it a quick tug. There's a clip right up in here. So when I tug these panels, I'm kind of like giving it quick jolts. I want it to release. You can see that clip down on the bottom, and then the one at the top, and the one at the top right there goes into that, and the other trim panel from the other side, which I will also give a quick jolt. All right, I put down the camera because I needed to put one hand on the back, one hand on the front, and just kind of push it straight through. This panel has two clips up top. As you can see, I've already taken this off once. And here's our wiring for that mirror. I'm going to use the multimeter to figure out which wire is 12 volt accessory power and which wire is ground. All right, from some testing, I figured out a few things. First, to use a multimeter, I already knew this. Voltage direct, that's solid line, not this wavy line, which is alternating. Let's see, it's right there. So I have it over here. And what I did was I took this out because I couldn't get the probes in there. I didn't want to tap the wires. And I started touching the wires on the inside. While I was touching the wires on the inside, I shorted out the front camera monitoring system for the safety stuff went off. Some stuff went off about the suspension. And then I had to locate the interior fuse box, which is up under there. You don't have to take any covers off, but it's hard to get there and hard to look and read all that stuff. The labels are right here, but I looked it up on my phone. Fuse slot number 5, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down this far right. It says option. That's a 10 amp fuse. I blew that one, reset it, put a new fuse in there. For the time being, only a 5 amp that I had. I restarted the vehicle and everything came back on. But while you have this disconnected, if you're going to use a mirror tap, go ahead and push those into the back. So I just figured out which ones match up. From this bundle, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 wires that go into the back of it. That second to left one, that's the ground. And the one right next to it, I found out that was accessory power. The one on the far right is constant. So figure out what that matches up to in this plug, which is right there. I'm gonna go ahead and plug these in while it's not connected to this because I don't wanna blow that fuse again. While you're shoving these in the back, right there, they just have little probes and they can slip inside there. You don't want that to ground out, or you're gonna wind up in the same situation and have to replace that fuse again. So before you get this all buttoned back up, now would be a good time to check your radar detector. Make sure that's powering up correctly. Let's turn the vehicle off. Radar detector goes off. That's a good sign. That means you're plugged into accessory power. Let's turn it back on. Now it's coming back on. So this has an inline fuse already, and it has this inline power button right here. In case for some reason you have to put this onto constant power, you can manually turn it off before you leave your vehicle right there. If your radar detector doesn't have an auto on-off function where it'll just turn itself off after a few minutes of non-use, That's really handy to use. Maybe this wasn't the best time to start that over-the-air update, but I've slipped this trim piece back into here, then pop those two fasteners back in, and now I will clip in the sides. I've tried to store some of that excess wire up in there, so it'll be tucked away. Alright, so I didn't wind up using that cable guide or these small little zip ties, but we have it mounted all the way up. This was the blend mount from a 2017 R8. In case you can't find the spec of the Acura Integra on here with this mirror, this seems to work fine. I will go back in the driver's side real quick to make sure I can adjust this to the level that I want it and still have this mounted here. I did have to mount it all the way to the back. All right, so that was my last check. For me, I'm only like 5'7 3/4", so I made sure that I can adjust my rear view mirror. I have everything in sight the way I want it. The last check, honestly, will be to get my wife in here. She's only like 5'2", or not even 5'2", to make sure she adjusts the seat properly and then can adjust the rear view mirror properly. But check it out, not a bad install. So for me, this will probably be a pretty good first mod. I will be doing some spirited driving in this. We will be doing a lot of vinyl in this vehicle, hopefully. So come back, check our website every once in a while, stickerfab.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Oh yeah, like this video, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and go ahead and hit that bell notification icon for the latest and greatest things we will work on for the Acura Integra.